What up, boys? It's Gaz, and welcome to the Warframe video. So, I don't actually remember if I made a video on this one in the past, but we're doing 2 out of the 3 beam shotguns I actually remember in this game. We did Convetrix yesterday, and we're going over the Phantasma today, and this is actually my favorite out of all. Actually, maybe not my favorite. It's like my second favorite out of all 3 of them. And this thing is actually really, really strong. But before we get into the build and all that kind of stuff, and some information on like heat procs and all that, make sure you check out the Twitch channel if you have not already, twitch.tv/gaz_ttv. And make sure you sub to this YouTube channel and even hit that bell if you feel like doing that. They know when the videos go up, because they go up every day, like 8 a.m. my time. So, yeah, there you go. Alright, so let's get into Phantasma. So we got a beam shotgun this time. But this thing actually scales a lot better than you would think, especially because it actually has like barely any crit, but it can hang with the big dogs as far as DPS, even without any of that crit. So, as we look right here, we got 3% crit chance and 1.5 crit multiplier. So the crit pretty much doesn't exist. But we're on Harrow, so you can probably guess what we're about to do in a little bit here. We've also got 22.2 status per projectile, but look at that, 6 multi-shot. It's got 6 beams, and yeah, it can go crazy with the status. So I have a multi-shot Riven on this thing, and a multi-shot and status chance Riven, and it's so many procs. It just, the way, I'll show you the build in a little bit here, but the way you can stack up heat procs and viral procs in this thing, it annihilates like a powerful melee weapon without having condition overload, without having blood rush, etc., etc. So the primary fire is impact and radiation, so it's got some decent procs on it. And oh yeah, by the way, this thing has a secondary fire where you're going to be firing off an explosive shot that has secret projectiles when it explodes. It unfortunately also has 3% crit chance, but that's okay. I'd say that the secondary fire is actually less powerful than the primary fire, but it is still pretty fun. And you can actually keep charging up the secondary fire depending on how much magazine size you have to make the explosion stronger and stronger. So here's me just tapping it. See, it shoots out projectiles that seek out enemies. They'll go right into the ceiling if you fire it indoors, so be careful on that one. I'll charge it up. And you see with multi-shots, it's going to fire off more bombs and all that kind of stuff. And here's the primary fire. So it's like an energy laser. Not amazing range, but yeah, this thing has really fast reload speed. And it does like, every tick of damage I think consumes like 0.5 ammo. So yeah, let's spawn some enemies in. I have no outside buffs, no arcanes equipped, they're going to upgrade the damage, no corrosive projection, and here's the build we're going to be running. It's going to be viral and heat. And if you might be able to notice here, we have like 3 heat mods in here actually. Got Scattering Inferno, Incendiary Eco, and Blaze. So the way that we're stacking up the elementals here, we're trying to get viral to be the second most likely, but heat is going to be the most important one. So we want to make sure it's proc and heat a bunch, because you only need 10 stacks of viral to get maximum multiplicative damage buff. So everything after that, those 10 stacks, you just want to go as much heat as possible. So the more heat, the better. It will make the damage over time on the enemy just scale up really crazy. You'll see some heat kills in here that are definitely pretty messed up. So as you also notice, it is actually not super high status chance, even though we have 3 dual stats on here. This thing used to hit 100% status like before, but it does not do that anymore. So it's still, but you'll see, like we have 15 multi-shot with our multi-shot mods in here. It's enough status procs. All right, I think we're gonna be fine. And it's not really focused on the secondary fire. It says 103% status chance on the secondary fire, but I believe that is containing all of the projectiles and stuff. So I wouldn't worry about too much at the secondary fire. The primary fire is infinite enemy punch through, so it can handle hordes of enemies quite easily. So, all right, level 175 enemies. We got the bombards and the gunners. So I'll show you what I mean. There's no crit really involved here, and as you can see, 61 fire procs. She's taking 29,000 damage from a no Riven viral heat build with a non-crit weapon. So it's really, really good. 29,000 again. Let's check out the bombard here. That was about 7 bullets, taking 24,000. And of course, like I said, it's AoE, so you just shoot through them. The guy in the back's burned. They're both burned. So this thing is really, really... Imagine if this thing could crit. We'll show it with Harrow in a little bit here. So, yeah, pretty good stuff right there. 35,000 on there. And of course, you can just keep the fire button down. So, let's unpause them, put invincibility on so we can show maybe... I'll show the... Okay, I'll do the secondary fire first just to show, like, that's really not what you should be focusing on here. But it does do some CC, so that's pretty nice. Now they're fighting each other. I'm going to put on my Harrow buff so we get some crits up in here. And it's going to, I mean, I'll do like 3 bullets on these enemies and see if it kills them in 3 bullets, okay? The Convectrix killed them in 2 bullets yesterday. Let's see if it can do 3 here. That was 3. Okay, she's going to die in 3. Getting some help from her friends. Let's just do an entire magazine on these guys. So if you can see, if it could crit, like this was normal, not Harrow stuff, that would be hilarious. But that's not the world we live in. So yeah, I think it's going to do just fine without any crits. So yeah, basically the way you want to stack this. Oh, by the way, the corrosive build works great too. I've also heard this thing is pretty nice against arbitration drones. If you have a weapon that you like to use against arbitration drones, I might make a video on best arbitration drone destroying weapons in the future. Let me know. I know it's like pretty much all the meta stuff, but you know, I'd like to hear what you guys like to use as well. So that was the viral heat build. The corrosive heat build works pretty well too. You get to use prime charge shell because corrosive damage is good against a lot of enemies. But I'd actually end up just putting on some more fire damage here because you only need 10 corrosive procs as well. So let's just do this build. I'll throw my Riven. It's just strictly better than Vigilante Armaments. So we've got multi-shot, stash chance, magazine size. Oh, and minus slash. Yeah, this weapon has no slash damage. You know what? I'm not going to question it. No slash unnecessary. So we now go to a little bit higher stash chance. We've got more multi-shot. We've got more magazine size. So with more magazine size, we can charge up the blaster even harder. And by the way, I have Vigilante, whatever it's called, supplies on here. You can put on terminal velocity. The Exilus mod doesn't really matter too much on this thing, to be honest. So there you go, even more consistent fire procs. And yeah, they're literally getting melted, so it works really, really well. I'll show the corrosive heat build in the mission really quickly. I don't even remember what happened. I recorded the mission gameplay like 2 days ago. I don't actually remember what happens in the mission. So, oh yeah, something that some people like to do as well is here. You can actually put on the mod called Vicious Spread. So what this one does is it gives you increased spread on your shotgun. So if you want to make like a condition overload build, this makes the accuracy really low, but look what it does to the beam. It makes it all wild, so you can actually cover like an entire hallway in condition overload procs really easily. It makes it less powerful for focused DPS though. So you can see right here, we're hitting multiple enemies now, and they're still going to burn to death, so it's pretty nice. If you consider that worth a mod slot, go for it. I kind of just like the focused DPS more. But yeah, you can see it's doing pretty good. This is with a Riven, to be fair, so yeah. We'll do the corrosive build in a mission with Arcane Avenger. And then, yeah. I think that this thing is super awesome. I've always enjoyed it. Something to keep in mind as well, it's not a huge deal. If you're using this is Revenant's, air quotes, signature shotgun. So if you're playing Revenant, you get additional magazine size while playing him. And those passives sometimes get bugged out, so I wouldn't depend on that too much. But yeah, it is something you could keep in mind if you'd like to play Revenant. The funny thing is, this weapon actually used to have self-damage back in the day when self-damage was around. But, yeah, now we have knockdowns instead, so thanks. Thanks to whoever wanted that one. I definitely would prefer the self-damage over the knockdowns, because actually you could use the self-damage for some pretty hilarious stuff in the past, like, you know, extracting from the mission quicker than you currently can. There was things you could definitely abuse with self-damage before. Of course, whenever you didn't want to blow up, it was kind of annoying. But when you did want to blow up, self-damage was nice to be there. So besides that, yeah, like I said, this weapon's really good. This is just a rescue mission, nothing too crazy here. And yeah, if the enemy is vulnerable to heat procs, they can get melted by this quite easily. As you can see, like, this build was better against the Kufa Guardian than the Convectrix build from yesterday, but that Convectrix build was pretty much entirely dependent on slash procs. So if I did the Convectrix build with Corrosive, it would have been fine against the Kufa Guardian. But this thing is not, there's no slash procs involved in this weapon, as you can see. It's heat procs and just like raw elemental damage. So yeah, I definitely would highly recommend it to you if you haven't tried it already. I thought at first it got nerfed from the status chance changes in like February or whatever it was. But now that I've actually gotten around to like testing it extensively, I'd say it feels better actually. Stacking up those heat procs just feels really nice. When you do a bunch of heat procs at once, they stack into like a singular damage tick. That's why you're seeing only one damage tick for like 29,000 damage on those gunners. It's because that's how heat procs work. Unlike toxin procs, where it's like a bunch of numbers on ticking, it's one big number. So it's actually pretty nice. And a pure heat build in some situations is powerful. It's not the best in the game, but it's definitely really, really cool. And I've been enjoying the viral and heat build on this weapon. I definitely would highly recommend it to you as well. So that's basically it for the video. Those Guardians got melted. Nothing else in this mission really matters because the Amalgams died instantly, the Guardians died instantly, and I wasted 3 ciphers trying to find the hostage. So, yeah, I hope that you guys found this helpful. Phage video coming out tomorrow. That one's really good too. I personally feel like I like this one more than the Phage, but the Phage can do viral, corrosive, and heat, as you probably saw in my top 10 primaries video from like months ago. So, either way, guys, talk to you next time. Take it easy.